everybody, Pearse Redmond here for BoilingFrogsPost.com, and you are currently watching the preview clip for the latest BFP Roundtable. So on this episode, I was joined by BFP contributors James Corbett and Christoph Germann for a wide-ranging discussion on the evolution of ISIS and the seemingly imminent collapse of Al-Qaeda, both as an organization and as a brand. Now, we begin this episode by discussing some recent articles that have come out in the past few weeks and months, chronicling this sort of decline of Al-Qaeda and the rise of ISIS in its place. So we took a look at the recent Nafiz Ahmed article, which discussed the Defense Intelligence Agency memo that was recently released through a FOIA request, which chronicled how the Pentagon was intimately involved in fostering ISIS in Syria. And later, we also take a look at some recent articles that have come out in The Guardian, of all places, quoting quite liberally from two Al-Qaeda insiders who are now trying to portray themselves as the moderate voices within the jihadi movement. So we, take a look at this, we analyze all of this and see where it's going in regards to ISIS as an organization and as a power force in the global war on terror. And we round out the conversation by looking at how the Taliban has been responding to the rise of ISIS and the multiple defections that it has seen. Well, I viewed these articles and just what's been going on lately, especially this sort of this idea of moderate voices, both within Al-Qaeda and, Christoph, as we've talked about, in the Taliban as well. Again, the Taliban considers ISIS too extreme. This is a pretty extreme group for all intents and purposes. They just, the other day, attacked Parliament. They obviously, I don't think we need to really explain how the Taliban is extreme in any of its methods. But yet now we see this group that's emerging with an incredible amount of power, seemingly endless supply of money and arms and fighters. They're taking more and more, not only from Al-Qaeda, but also from the Taliban. And they are, bringing in a new sort of jihadi that is even more extreme again and more radical and more sort of like tunnel vision. James, it's interesting. You were saying ISIS does have more of a political structure in the sense that they want to rule whatever certain areas of land. But on another level, I almost see them as less of a political agenda in that, Al-Qaeda would at least articulate they would have something about, say, Palestine or Israel. They would have something to say, intellectually speaking, you don't have to agree with it, but Zawahiri or bin Laden, they were able to articulate a particular idea about, say, Western imperialism. With ISIS, I see them as just basically like kill, kill, kill. There doesn't have to be a rhyme or reason behind. They just supposedly banned the playing of backgammon in Mosul for Ramadan. That's just idiotic, even for a CIA terror group. So my sort of takeaway from a lot of this and where I've been sort of going in the direction of is that this really is ISIS is really about rehabilitating some of our old enemies and perhaps making them seem not only more tolerable but more necessary. All right, well, of course, there is a whole lot more to this episode, a lot more analysis and insight from me, James, and Christoph. So if you would like to listen to the full video version of this BFP Roundtable, then please become a subscriber today by going to BoilingFrogsPost.com. And there, of course, you can subscribe either monthly or annually. And, of course, I'd like to reiterate once again that BFP takes absolutely no money from foundations, corporations, advertising, any of the deep state tentacles, so we are completely independent, and of course we are completely reliant on you, the irate minority. So, again, if you would like to subscribe and support our work, then please go to BoilingFrogsPost.com.